starts our plague out and allows us to start subjugating humanity. Then from there we get a few more symptoms in this line, all increasing infectivity until we can buy shadow slaves, which causes severe behavioral abnormalities and permanent psychosis. Now we don't have to kill everybody, as long as we infect them, we win. Then with those things gotten, we can get Blood Gift, which makes our vampire visit hundreds of humans every night to infect them, all the way down to Corrupted Air, which now allows us to infect millions of humans every single day. And we'll also get some layer healing, just to keep us safe. Then it's on to Transmission, where we'll get Droplets 1 and 2, Fomites 1 and 2, Air 1 and 2, Water 1 and 2, and Extreme Bioaerosol, so now we'll infect tons of people constantly. Then after that, it's time for cold tolerance, antibiotic tolerance, and heat tolerance. Though we didn't have enough DNA for heat tolerance, so oops. But still, we're in a really good place, and we can get it a bit later. We also upgraded so fast right there that I didn't even have time to explain it while we're doing it. But as you can see, we are now extremely lethal. Once we go to a country, pretty much everybody in that country is going to get infected. But there's where we'll get heat tolerance, and we might as well get Zoonotic Shift, which allows for cross-species infection, and then Bat 1, Dog 1, and Wolf 1. So all of those guys will help us with infecting humanity. So at this point, the humans are probably very much regretting just allowing me to chill out in Central Europe. They were like, hey, it's not my problem. Now it's going to be everybody's problem, because we infect these countries extremely fast. But there are going to be a lot of people who are trying to make cures. Unluckily for them, as soon as we show up to one of those countries, we pretty much destroy them. And especially because I have all these places I can teleport to, they can try to create some countries. They aren't really going to help as long as I'm just staying on top of my game. We go right here, and we can get 4 countries in the world, get rid of 4 of those labs, and we extremely slow down the cure progress. And it's going to be similar to other ones where they get all these labs, where as long as we get one of the countries done for, they can no longer start working on a cure. So yeah, we're just trying to deal with them as soon as they show up, and we'll deal with the other guys later. But it looks like Africa really hasn't been affected much at all, so we definitely want to go over there before we go to Japan and deal with their cure progress, because hopefully from there we'll get a lot more people just naturally getting infected, as well as we can get some more transmission, because we have so many DNA points. And yeah, we're pretty much just dealing with the rest of the people. There's not much they can do at this point. I understand why they're trying to fight back, but, you know, look at this map, it's not really going to help you. At this point, it's pretty much just the hard-to-reach places that we got to get, like Madagascar. Pretty much for most of these ones where we're actually able to move around, Madagascar is always a problem, they're just kind of annoying. And the Philippines. The Philippines is hard to notice on this map. It's usually just the islands, because when you're attached to other countries, it's really easy to see what's purple and what isn't. Anyways, I think that is all the islands, so time to deal with everybody else. You know, I get it. It must be such a sad existence being the only ones not under my rule, so don't worry, I will deal with you. We'll also check, make sure that everybody is not healthy, and that means, there we go, we took care of the entire world, and that's what we're going to call off time. 1:03:46, which is not only going to be a world record for the old plagues on Mega Brutal difficulty, but it's also going to be a world record for the Shadow Plague. I'll take it. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.
Alright, this is actually the last floor. Fuck you, Steam.
Love that. You put that on your bio. Food should be better. But if that's what's happening, then somehow today I'm just brain perfect. I don't know. It's like I've been doing all dungeons for a long while. This is the first first time I've run into this issue and had it happen like multiple times. Which is unfortunate because, like, look at this. Well, don't actually look, because it was just the previous two runs. Only 33-12 into a 33-13. I'm playing well. Like, insane. I mean, it's just too good. I'm playing too well. You cannot use emulators for looking for speedruns. I am using Elgato Inlink 4K. But yeah, emulators are banned. Or runs submitted to the Blade Court. I mean, you can practice on emulator if you want it. You might not. Emulate it perfectly. Personal worst. I've done that. It's pretty good. Or pretty bad, I guess. So worst is actually a thing I can compare to it. Here, I'll switch my comparison in a bit. Warrior out, and it's only like part of the new stuff that people have come up with. Because the early ascent thing is, but it's like possible to do early ascent as well as crucible. Some worst. It's
I
only
need
a
to
419,
stop doing this.
which I'm pretty sure most of those splits are from that one run.
Why can't I kill them?
Save files, or like practice saves. Yeah, 42 should be possible. So 41 day, maybe. Presumably it'll get to support. UCD. Yeah, it's a pretty small state. Won't run into each other.
I can't insta-kill anyone today.
Can we imagine living in like
Also, I need to change the roast.
then you could actually know everyone? Oh, did she really know? Like, yeah, you have fun. I don't actually live in San Diego though. But you know, it's not that far. It's only like 6 hours or something away. Which is usually if you drive 6 hours you won't make it to another state, but it's only like halfway across like California. Yeah, it is very tall. I have to make a save in the intro. To perform a trick, which to transfer the Master Sword out of the intro. Very funny, but thank you for that one. Have you guys ever seen the Final Fantasy X laughing scene? The one that he's laughing. Happening, I'm on it. This is actually just gonna be another 33 like 1x. I can see this. I feel like I flip between Tidus and Titus. Like it's not consistent. Yeah, it's like FF10. I didn't actually, like I played it, but I didn't really like it that much. Dude, 10 hours of driving sounds like a blast. Tidus. Tidus. Yeah, I played it and like it's a good game. I don't really know why I wouldn't like it. At the very end, so I was playing probably the re-release of FF10. So there's like this secret boss at the end that you can fight. And I was kind of done with the game. I was like, man, am I really gonna figure out how to actually fight this guy? Or am I gonna just like take Yojimbo and then one-shot him? Because in FF10 there's a summon you can use where you just pay a bunch of money. If you pay enough, then there's a good chance the
I didn't bring any formaldehydes. Dang it.
pay, the higher the chances. And so I just was like, you know what? This is it. I'm done. The movie game. So I just probably put in all my money and then gave one shot the boss and was like, I do think that's a very cool, like, idea for a summon. Like, you could just, at any point, if you wanted to, one-shot anything. I sure hope that worked. I did not. Did I get the jump? Okay, we're good. I did not see the autosave, so I was fairly sure it worked. Yeah, I think you can just jump on the first frame, and if you get that jump, then you're good. Right, because you're not actually, like, the game won't save your position on the first frame, and so you can actually make it. Cell, doing alright, are you? How do you put a wing behind you? Essentially standing on a Zonai device. Will not update Link's last, like, grounded position, so if you then void out or drown or something, you'll get put back at some other spot. In this case, I get put back at where the grip pad was obtained, which is a more direct path, or which has a more direct path to the next shrine. There's the TOT is a command. I don't have a better explanation, a more concise one. On the edge of the pathway, stood there and though it fell off, it still got put out, yeah. It's definitely, you gotta try it. Because it can be saved. Hung over but surviving. We gifted that any % glitchless tutorial video. Well, the glitchless video is probably going to come out Sunday. And, gotta say, thumbnail, really good. And the video, very well edited. But it's not like a tutorial. It kind of just, it's explaining the route, so it's not really meant to, like, teach people how to do it. Is that just like Grindel? Is that the emote? I don't know what that is. But yeah, it'd be cool. So yeah, make sure on Sunday or whenever it actually comes out, you guys click on the video and watch it. and subscribe if you haven't. Because they are my favorite Pokemon. My favorite evolutionary line Pokemon. But yeah, I didn't actually know about Lahaj, the Ikea shark, until like last week probably, when my brother mentioned it, and I did not know what he was talking about. Yeah, apparently there's a shark plush that you can buy from IKEA. It is great. It's pronounced low-high. Alright. I definitely was not getting that one. Thank you. Well, apparently it's a thing. Quite iconic, so... Got a shiny Mareep on Scarlet when you were doing the DLC. That is very fire. Sweet and over. I am simply American. I mean, plushies are like the greatest thing ever created. So Slay when it is actually I have drafted it. And honestly the draft is probably it's kind of made. No, it's it should be changed at all. It's possible that you cannot sleep without a stuffed animal. I definitely have my fair share. Although I think right now most of them are
I thought there would be a warning. I just wanted to get the warning out of the way before saving. Well, I guess we're doing this. Oh, this is different.
Brother, it is I, Gertrude. Why do you do this to your sister?
Don't take that out of context. I am the last king of Armor Road. No abomination with the powers of a deep one can dare call itself my sister. Yo, check this out.
Is that the porcelain offering? I couldn't take this twice if it were true.
Porcelain offering? I know not what that is, but I can assure you it is not necessary. Olympia, thank you.
My liege, please take this.
Oh, you drink it. Okay. Hopefully it tastes good. What? Okay, I can kind of get reverting your species to the way it was, but how do you undo robotic implants? The Abyssal Shrine can conceal door to the deep one. The otherworldly seas brand I gave to you shall lead you deeper within. Can we? Nope. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Why? She can't even do anything. She's already said as much so many times by now. Oh, wow. The healing skills should definitely be improved. What? Oh. I know where to go.
What's my most expensive blush? Can you imagine balancing on a magic flying metal bird? I don't think so. I don't think.
Heed my words, my powers that have been expanded on the princess are restored. My glory has returned. When my power is at its fullest, I will lead my king to destroy Yggdrasil and the sons of man. If you would stop me, travel past these doors to the place where the deep ones commune with their god. Your brand shall open the way. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the wings are made of zonite.
The true last dungeon. Well, not really. I know what the true last dungeon is. But you know, this is cool.
I'll take it. I wonder if it's better to just
Yeah,
not do the jump there, because if you jump and then get hit, you're like
Are they naked?
guaranteed
how indecent.
to get launched into the air. Or if you don't,
Hot damn. Oh, hot damn.
it might not actually launch you. Usually not as high as that, but it can launch.
Nice. So, were we tricked? Nice. Yeah, this staircase done. Why I'm pressing it, but I'll press it anyway. That's a lot of other spawns. Let's see what old Tiger can do.
Probably just lost like 30 seconds.
Okay then, Teosira was all we needed.
It's a ducko.
So, Supernova's OP.
GG. What's up, Allison? How's it going?
Nice.
Sorry to hear that. Why? Yeah. 36 seconds off. That is tragic.
These were the bosses we fought.
Unfortunately, that was...
They're way weaker here. I got this. Yeah, it's just this guy. Who gives a shit about this guy? Not me.
Best case ever, and then I get to the weapon safe transfer. It just doesn't work for some reason. I still don't know why. It might be that I'm pausing too quickly, which has never been an issue before. And essentially what happens is I end up deleting the message about power sword over the weapon safe transfer. So instead of, having the sword be left at 1 durability, it is just gone from my inventory and I have to reload. And so the last 2 runs I've tried have been minus 20 at that point, which is like insane pace. And then the game just doesn't work the same way it has always worked. Maybe it is actually working. Maybe it's consistent. I don't know. I'm just better at pausing. And then you. And like,
Jeez.
literally never happened. And I can only have so many ESIs before I start making mistakes like let me know when I get the frog. So yeah, I'm not the best, but I'm also the best. It was like playing really well, but it's one mistake. I'm just not good for that. When I practiced it, I was like, okay, we're probably fine. Just next run, did the same thing. What was Am? Thanks for the one. You're right. I don't like that you're right. It's like this time I would be shocked. Like completely been if it didn't work. Even this round. Which I mean like what, 33-33 or whatever it is I would get in practice still pretty good. was kind of hard to like you get a really good start a run, and then like at the very start of the stream, it's always kind of difficult to not compare to that. I'm just thinking about how like, oh yeah, that one run was just insane, and this is so annoying. Even though it's like it would happen with Breath of the Wild, really, where I would just get like a really amazing plateau at the beginning of the stream, and then never make it off plateau again. What's up, Ezra? The Twitch raid train. Wake up somewhere entirely different. Start here. This. In the last run, I got 2 crits. 3 crits. Movement things. Yeah, it's loading. Stuff. A whole different world. Different map.
I can just auto this. Not anymore.
I'm pretty sure the first time you enter the depths, you like, no matter what version of the game you're on, you're gonna have health. Back with me.
Bullshit. But she's far ahead anyway.
But yeah, also I'm moving very fast. No, yeah, the game can't keep up. You want some true cooler? Thanks for the like. If it helps.
Fire fruit. Tears of the Kingdom stole this. I'm gonna use Safe Stroll so I can map the rest of this in peace.
You know, sometimes your best isn't. GG flooded. Buffalo Ultimate. Not good reorg. Just been annoyed by today's rooms. I've tried Squirtle and I have varying levels of success. There's a new thingy that I'm doing, like Okey Doke. Like, it gives you a grid, and for most of it, you're just trying to, like, list, like, you find a Pokemon of that type combination, because, like, there's rows and columns, and you'll have, like, a type for each row and column, and you have to pick the right Pokemon, or like, a Pokemon that fits. And sometimes there'll be a type combination where it's, like, literally only one Pokemon meets that criteria. You have to, like, find it. It's like a normal poison type
This is a good shortcut, Asani, I
that
suppose.
didn't exist until Gen 9 and we played it. Why did I lose time there? Definitely hate building this. And it works. Of course. One. Three. 4. 5. 6.
Oops, not here.
Okay, the other day there was like a water bug, I think. So I was thinking, what is a water bug thing? And I eventually got myself to a masquerade, right? Definitely like a water bug thing. And it turns out that Surskit is the water bug, and it turns into a flying type. I did not realize. You're just weird. Thank you, Joshua. For the odds of a PB today, I know it's probably really good. When you want durability, the game thinks it's gonna break, so it deals double damage. But because the Master Sword knock
25 ways to ruin your friend's server in Minecraft. When you join a multiplayer server, the door gets open to all kinds of pranks, traps, and mayhem. So today, we're looking at the top ways to mess with your friends and your enemies on the realm. And hey, YouTube tells me the fastest anyone's ever subscribed to the channel is 2 seconds flat. But I think we can do better. So to beat that record, speedruns.red sub on below. It's free and dumps out a ton. Number 1. Let me know if this has happened to you. You're playing on an SMP with friends, you should be making progress at the same time, until one of you gets a bit too eager and then slays the dragon by themselves. It's a frustrating realization for sure. So to keep that final destination off limits, our solution comes down to dripstone. By dropping a couple of these from a tall height, we guarantee that whoever goes through the portal next is in for a short trip. And folks, this will even work regardless of their armor, making it a perfect addition for your next manhunt trap. Number 2. Finding diamonds in Minecraft should be cause for celebration, but with a setup like this, that excitement is short-lived. See, if you really want to prank your friends on the server, then why not head down to the mines and booby trap the various ores? All it takes is an observer angled the right way, we can use that block update to end their excursion. Really, it's that simple to pull off. And with a quick fuse, there'll be nothing more than a pile of items before they can even finish counting their diamonds. Number 3. We all know that one person on the server who has way too many animals on his farm. And at this point, it's starting to seem like a problem. So to cut that back and give them a lesson on the importance of free range, why don't we do them a favor and continue to breed those animals? See, by overcrowding their pig pen, we guarantee that at a certain point, the entity cramming kicks in and that ruins their fun. Which, from there, all it takes is one misstep, and anyone trying to clean up the problem gets squished just the same. Number 4. Trapping your friends in Minecraft is a real joy. But in a game where even bedrock can be destroyed, how do you keep them from breaking out? Well, according to the evil masterminds of the community, we've got a solution like this to do the trick. See, when we lay it out like such, even our best tools are practically useless to bust us out. Or, for an even better trap, why not follow what Eagle Eye 621 said and use glitch and crystals for a truly inescapable plan? And I'm guessing your friend gives up on escaping before any of these give out. Number 5. Now, we're all well familiar with the concept of creeper rolls, and while these eyesores typically get filled in, some players aren't as polite, and that lack of manners can lead to something of an infestation. So to teach the server a lesson on the importance of filling in their hollow holes, why don't we try something like this? Simply remove the blocks underneath the surface and then cover it up with topsoil. Then, after enough time, the mobs will spawn and give whoever cleans them up quite the startle. And maybe next time they'll fill in their mistakes when they're asked to. Number 6. The 1.18 update is set to bring a ton of new features to Minecraft's base game, and the sculk sensor is chief among those. Well, what could be a useful tool for redstone could just as easily be a weapon, and these bombs show as much. See, by laying out our sensors on either end of this activator rail, we make this trap unbreakable, since if they take out any of the blocks nearby, the sounds trigger the pulse, and it starts the explosion. And at that point, they might as well relocate, since there's really only one way to get rid of it. Number 7. Falling into water is a staple of Minecraft safety, which means no one will expect their water chute to be a kill chamber instead. And while we've done this with Lapis in the past, I think this is even better. See, with vertical redstone, we can have them fall through a tripwire and then change our water drop into a lava one instead, causing both a sudden death and lost items. And since we use the block updates caused by a moving wall piston, the redstone to do this is instantaneous, and they'll be none the wiser for what's in store. Number 8. Now, by themselves, these zombies are much of a pain, but packing a whole bunch of them, we've got something even scarier, lag. And that, folks, is the last thing you want on the server. So to give your friends a tough time, why don't we use an undead unit of our own? After grabbing a bunch of zombies, lay down a pile of items, and then wait for them to pick it up. And from there, once their hands are stuffed, those suckers aren't going to despawn, giving us the mobile lag machine to place right inside your...
As I asked, you have presented the offering to the princess and restored her humanity. My feelings for the princess were at odds with my plan to rule over Armorode. I wavered. But you resolved that, and so I am again the almighty father, mother of the otherworldly sea. We shall end this now. Rejoice! Your long journey filled with hardships is at its end. Will not end with my death. The eldest one's body begins to expand. What? Oh my. Let's see what the author has to say. It's the same but final boss music. Lame. It's a lot of final bosses, honestly. Progenitor. Is this it? Yep. 18,900 HP. Alright. Stun Volt. Death Thunder can petrify. Well, that's great. It heals 1770 HP. So Prevent Order is definitely going to be important.
Giving us the mobile lag machine to place right inside your friend's base. Number 9. Let's be honest, no one likes waiting for crops to grow, and sometimes that waiting game can feel like forever. But in this case, it's actually true. See, while our friend wasn't looking, we snuck in and placed string trip wire along the top of their
Maybe I
bamboo
should keep
sugar cane,
debuffing
which
it
when
so
standing back here is an almost
bit
imperceptible
too busy
change.
trying
But it means
to
the crops cannot grow past that point. And if
get
you do
rid
this
of its
inside the mechanics
debuffs.
of a redstone farm, they'll be totally confused as to why it stopped working, and now they'll be buying all their
An
bamboo
idea.
from you. Number 10. The best place to put a trap is where you least expect it. And I don't know about you, but I generally don't plan on my ladder being the death of me. But after seeing this, I'll have to reconsider. Now, the setup here is actually quite simple, but I love the execution. The idea is that our victim climbs up their ladder, lifts the trapdoor to exit, and then that leads to a piston to shift the wall and break all of their ladders. From there, we drop them into lava, TNT, or just about anything else to finish the job, and it's as simple as that. Number 11.
Okay,
Everyone knows that when you break all the logs in a
That's
tree,
Vine
things
Rush.
should disappear. But that doesn't explain why these are still left standing hours after the trunk. And no, this doesn't have anything to do with update suppression or changing the random tick speed, but rather, we just replace the leaves on our friend's trees with ones of our own. Then, once we place them back down, these decoration blocks can no longer despawn over time, which not only gives them an eyesore, but it also guarantees a couple of chores for them to clean up. And let's hope they have a good pair of shears. Number 12. Exploring the end can be a treacherous experience, and usually we like to mitigate the risk when we can. But if you're sick of your friends raiding the end islands before you can, this might be the solution. As you'll notice, every time we go through the gateway to the outer end, we always land at the same block, which means we can plant a trap like so to guarantee any future visitors have a bad time. And furthermore, using TNT minecarts like this will make this whole thing explode faster than you could possibly subscribe to the channel, which pretty much guarantees a sudden death. Number 13. Chickens can be pretty annoying. After all, they keep laying eggs, so usually we just end up with way more of these items than we need. But in this case, we can use that to our advantage. See, for our master plan, all we need to do is load up a bunch of chickens on a hopper like so, and then every time they lay an egg, it's fired out of a dispenser in a hidden location. Place this at your friend's base, and before they know it, they'll be inundated with baby chickens, all the while confused about where they came from. Number 14. Scaffolding is a pretty useful tool, and a big part of that is how easy it is to clean up. But as someone pointed out, that speed can just as easily be turned to the dark side. As is, if we prep something dangerous like a lava bucket or an anvil up top, then when your friend comes by to break it, they'll be treated to a nasty surprise from above. And the best part, they can't even reasonably build up the blocks to stop it. So if they try and save their stuff, you can sit back and enjoy the show. Number 15. Anvils are great, but they can quickly get problematic. And I think we're all familiar with this message that the cost has gotten too expensive. It's a rough sight for sure, but one we can use to prank our friends. Now, if your friend is reckless enough to leave their tools lying about in a chest or an item frame, then that's your perfect opportunity. In that case, we grab the tools and then change them up a bunch to drag up the costs. Then, when done, you make it look like the original, and they'll be quite surprised next time they go to repair and they can't even do it. Number 16. When you're playing on a server, lag is a common frustration, and unfortunately, some of us experience it more than others. So if you want to get back at that friend with high-speed internet, this door is the perfect prank. Now, the mechanics at play are fairly simple. All that's happening is that once they stand on the pressure plate, it only opens once they step off. And as some of us know, this is indistinguishable from a laggy server connection, meaning they'll be stuck doing this little shuffle back and forth, and they'll never be able to get inside. Number 17. Truth be told, pranks in Minecraft are a lot easier than in real life, but that doesn't mean there isn't any overlap, and this is a great mix of the two. See, in the real world, we usually place a water cup on top of a door, but here, we could use TNT instead. And after aligning the minecarts along a chest, we can balance that one pixel just right to keep it steady until someone comes. And then, when they open the door to step in, they'll knock the minecarts onto the powered rail, and the rest is history. Number 18. Now, by all accounts, armor stands seem pretty harmless. After all, they don't have arms, so what's the worst they can do? Well, according to channels like the Horizon, quite a lot actually. So we can overlap these entities into the same block, we can get a lot of lag in a small footprint. After getting enough of these into position, the game's ticks per second will slow way down. And then, after dropping these onto a fence with water, the lag gets even worse. And from that point, we continue to drop the TPS and make the server borderline unplayable. Number 19. At some point, we've all known someone who just cuts down every single tree in sight. And of course, they never replant them either, which leads to the base looking barren and empty. So to prevent against that, let's take after this Reddit user and stick a surprise in our trees. With this, they can't see the trap, but sure enough, as soon as they chop down all the logs, they'll be treated to quite a few anvils from the sky. Then that way, even if they steal your oak, you can just grab it up with the rest of their items. Number 20. Mob farms are a great asset to have, and typically whoever scores a spawner first winds up the richest player on the server. So if you're starting to get jealous of your friend's good fortune, this might solve that imbalance. The solution is just as simple as switching out the blocks in their floor to half slabs of the same type. With that little change, you'll have a hard time getting any more monsters to spawn. And the best part is that using a block like cobblestone makes this a tough prank to even recognize, leaving them both confused and poor. Number 21. Nothing beats the comfort of your own bed, but with a machine like this, we can turn those sweet dreams into straight up nightmare fuel. And to set it up, we've got a couple of different options, but all of which are based around a manipulation of the respawn mechanics to make sure that our friends always wake up in a lava bath. So while prisons like Pandora's Vault are a lot more flashy, this cuts down to the basics and works just the same. So I'd suggest checking your next bed very carefully, because even if there's no monster underneath, this still fits that bill. Number 22. Moss seems like a pretty harmless block, but add in some bone meal and that bit of vegetation can turn into serious devastation, and that's what we're focusing on today. As you'll see, because this block is so good at recruiting, we can wreak some serious havoc at the different bases on the server. And again, the cost is as cheap as a few stacks of bone meal, making this really easy to pull off. So while the stone hoe will make the cleanup quick, it still takes a lot of work to put back to normal. Now honestly, I think it looks quite nice. Number 23. Once you've branded yourself as the prankster, it's hard to get people to trust you, which is usually a shame, but today we can use that to our advantage. Because even if your friend doesn't trust a random pressure plate, we can still use that as a trigger for our trap, since once they break the pressure plate, it then goes down into a hopper system, and then sets off a comparator to explode our TNT minecarts, which is a fantastic reverse card in my eyes, and it's something that can work particularly well in a predetermined desert temple, just saying. Number 24. If you've messed around with gaming glitches, you're probably familiar with the concept of a soft lock. That is, where the game is still playable, but the player can't make any more progress. And while that's usually a sign of lackluster playtesting, today we'll be using it for quite the prank. Now, pulling this off might be tricky, but the idea hinges around getting your friend to set their spawn in a bed that's underneath the end portal, which after that means they can only respawn in the end dimension, with no hopes of escape. And I think that fits our soft lock criteria. Number 25. Falling into the void is a bad time. Everyone knows that. But while you expect that hazard in the end, the overworld is a different story. Because after seeing RecRap's video on the subject, this plan just might come into fruition. Now, sure, the time that it takes to break all the bedrock is a big investment. And to commit to pulling this off, you really need to hold a grudge. But come on, imagine your friend's reaction when they not only fall when they least expect it, they also lose all their items in the void as well. It's just too perfect. And with that, folks, please don't get banned and have a good one, alright?
heals even more in this difficulty. Jeez.
Every 2 years, 1 million Japanese disappear. China's population will halve by the end of the century. The median age in Italy has reached 48. All around the world, birth rates are crashing. Is humanity dying out? What's going on, and how bad is it? For hundreds of thousands of years, the human population barely grew at all, haunted by disease, famine, and war, until the Industrial Revolution. Exponential progress led to exponential growth, pushing our numbers to 6 billion in the year 1999 and 8 billion just 24 years later. And our numbers will continue to rise for at least another 60 years, but this growth obscures something. People kind of stopped having babies. For a stable population, every couple needs to have 2 children on average. If the number is higher, it grows. If lower, it shrinks. If it's well below, it shrinks a lot and quickly. Like in South Korea, one of the hottest exporters of pop culture. Its fertility rate there 0.8 children per woman in 2022, the lowest in the world. This means 100 South Koreans of childbearing age today will have 40 kids, who then will have 16 kids, who then will have 6. If nothing changes, then within 100 years, there will be 84% fewer young people, and South Korea will see a population implosion. That is, if things stay the same. We have yet to see if there's a bottom to fertility rates. Although looking at the bigger picture and absolute numbers, this population will not shrink that much. It simply returns to the level it once was. In 1950, there were 20 million South Koreans. In 2023, there are 52 million, and by 2100, there will be 24 million again. But the issue is not that there will be fewer South Koreans. The issue is the composition of the population. In 1950, the median age was 18. In 2023, it's 45. In 2100, it will be 59. A country of seniors. And South Korea is far from alone. China may be seeing the steepest population reversal in history, unstoppable at this point. Rapid industrialization, urbanization, and rising incomes meant that the Chinese started to prefer smaller families. That, plus the introduction of the one-child policy, which aims to slow population growth, means that China has had a low fertility rate for decades. With a fertility fertility rate of 1.16 births per woman, within 4 generations, 100 young Chinese will turn into 20. China's fertility rates are now one of the lowest in East Asia, lower than even Japan's. In comparison, Europe's depopulation is much slower despite no fertility, since unlike Asia, most states have had a steady flow of immigrants. The impact is complex, as a good chunk of immigrants come from other low fertility rate areas. The number of immigrant women who do have a lot of children is not yet high enough to make a big dent, and fertility rates for immigrants tend to adjust to the native population within 2 to 3 generations. In Eastern Europe, the decline has sped up even more because many young people have emigrated to stronger economies like Germany, whose median age is one of the highest in the world at 46. Latin America fell below replacement in 2015. In the US, immigration is the only thing keeping the population growing substantially. There are still places where fertility rates have not fallen below replacement yet. In much of the Middle East, North and Sub-Saharan Africa, fertility is still high, which creates the same concerns about overpopulation as when Asia grew very quickly in the 1950s, but that turned out to be unfounded. But recently, the UN has reduced its forecast for Africa's population drastically. For Nigeria, estimates were lowered from 733 million to 546 million by 2100. Similar trends are being noted across the continent. As Africa develops, fertility rates are shrinking much faster than anticipated. It's becoming more likely that East Asia's story will repeat itself. By the end of the century, most places in Africa may be below replacement too. So declining birth rates and aging populations have become a general trend all over the world. Why is all of this a big deal? Demographics and poverty. For a functioning society, you need enough people in the prime of their lives. Young, middle-aged people do most of the work. In any economic system, working-age people create a society's wealth. In retirement, you stop contributing as much to the economy. But the majority of healthcare costs are generated by seniors. The way the world worked in the past was that a lot of younger people took care of a few older people. Imagine a society where most people are older than 60. The financial burden for the young will be immense, unsustainable even for the richest countries. Even in the best case, this will mean people having to work way longer, exploding healthcare costs and poverty, while states with shrinking incomes struggle to keep up with rising costs. Technology might soften the blow, but can't compensate entirely. We can see this happening already. 11 out of 31 provinces in China are running deficits for their pension funds. They got old before they got rich, and now they can't really catch up anymore. China's working age population is predicted to fall by 20%, or 200 million people by 2050, as much as today's entire working age population of the US. Infrastructure collapse is an almost universal constant of population decline, because infrastructure works at scale and doesn't get cheaper to operate if it's used by fewer people. If a population declines, be it because of urbanization or the loss of industry and employment, once people and their income disappear, the resources necessary to sustain infrastructure disappear too. You can see it in many depopulated towns and cities in East Germany that suffered sharp population decline after German reunification. Or look at Japan. You can tour the countryside to see dying towns. Wait, if there are few people, will life get cheaper and better, and there'll be more resources to go around? Well, no. Population decline doesn't lead to prosperity. It's people's ideas of work that create our prosperity, not the mere availability of resources. Another danger for aging societies is that elected governments could decide to mostly represent the interests and fears of their elderly populations, potentially leading to short-term thinking and a preference for conserving wealth over innovation. That's not a society that can handle issues like climate change, which need massive investment and fresh ideas, something the world is already having a hard time with. Many people think that having fewer humans on Earth is actually a good thing because our societies are too unsustainable. We're using up too many resources because of climate change. The problem is that even if you want fewer humans, this process is very likely too slow to have a positive impact on the environment. The world population is going to grow for at least 60 more years before it may shrink again. By then, we have to solve climate change. Likewise, any other upsides a lower population might have will most likely not materialize themselves this century. So, just like import people, the easiest solution seems to be immigration, but the fertility of immigrants adjusts to local levels within 3 generations. So you need a constant influx of new migrants, which is not sustainable long term as birth rates are dropping everywhere. The only way would be to keep poor countries poor, so that the young and motivated migrate to developed countries looking for opportunity and a better life. Kind of an immoral thing to wish for. By the end of the century, Africa will have the highest number of young people in the world, and so African migrants might become the world's most sought-after immigrants, with elderly nations fighting hard for every person willing to make the move. Immigration can also create societal or cultural tensions, which is a universal phenomenon in all cultures, especially when cultures with very different sets of values meet, often leading to a backlash that slows immigration down again. It's easy to be frustrated at this, but ignoring this will only divide societies, empower demagogues, and increase xenophobia. Economically, immigration is largely beneficial for societies, even if this seems counterintuitive to many people. Especially in countries like the US, an immigrant nation built on the idea of personal freedom and opportunity through hard work will benefit the most. Countries like this will have a clear advantage this century, especially if they can attract the world's brightest and most ambitious. Conclusion and our opinion. This topic is way too big, affects societies as diverse as literally all of humanity. So please take this part with a gigantic grain of salt. Obviously, we're looking at this from our Central European perspective. One way to look at falling birth rates is as a side effect of the world being less bad than it was. Especially women are freer, more educated, and wealthier than in the past. But it turns out that if societies are better off, individuals often decide to have fewer kids. Interestingly, there's a gap between how many kids people want and how many they're having. The mean number of kids women in Europe want is around 2.3, much more than they're actually having. While we gained a lot of freedoms in the last century across continents and economic systems, that came at a cost. The tight-knit communities and family structures that were part of our nature, where kids could be brought up by a village. Today, young parents have to deal with different challenges and societal expectations. Women are kind of ground down between the wish and expectation to have a family and a career, being pressured to do both, but not compromise either. Men are sharing parental duties more equally than they used to, but are often still expected to be the provider. And it's sadly true that usually at least one parent's career is held back. In many developed countries, the gender pay gap is chiefly a pay gap between mothers and everyone else. But it's not just outside pressure. Our culture of individualism probably plays a role too. We have only one life to explore, be free, travel, have fun, accomplish something, and try to be happy. So people commit to partners later in life and often decide against big families or any at all. And that's fair. Nobody owes their country babies. So far, no country has successfully managed to increase birth rates significantly, so as of now, we don't really know what works. But here are a few options to at least make the lives of parents much easier. Free and abundant access to childcare, financial benefits for parents, more and cheaper housing. Parenthood has to stop being a career obstacle, and our culture needs to become more positive towards families. And that's something we can all work on. The next time you sit next to a crying baby, don't be a jerk about it. Kids are hard. In the end, humanity will not die out because we're having fewer babies. The age and composition of our societies changes quickly, and we need to deal with that sooner rather than later. But in the end, of all the incredibly hard challenges we've faced before, why would this be the one we can't solve? Getting to the bottom of the population crash starts with analysing and interpreting massive amounts of data. And if you're looking for a free way to start building your data skills, which are more essential than ever these days, we recommend Brilliant.org. Brilliant's latest course, Predicting with Probability, will teach you everything you need to get started in data science. No coding required. You'll analyse vast datasets, compare distributions, and master fundamental concepts that are key to some of the most in-demand careers in today's world. Beyond data, Brilliant is the best way to master key concepts in everything from maths and science to computer science and programming. Just set your goal, Brilliant designs the perfect path and equips you with the right tools to reach it. They have thousands of lessons to explore, and each one is interactive, like a one-on-one version of a Kotzkazan video. We've actually designed a whole series of lessons in collaboration with our friends at Brilliant that cover the topics from our most popular videos, from rabies and mammalian metabolism to climate science and supernovas. And you can try them and many more for free today. To get hands-on with Kotzkazan lessons and explore everything Brilliant has to offer, you can start your free 30-day trial by signing up at brilliant.org/nutshell. There's even an extra perk for Kotzka viewers. The first 200 people to use the link get 20% off an annual membership once their trial ends.
Path away from ruin is now open. What is with Atlas and long-ass boss fights? The dreadful eldest one, long upon it the evil slowly collapses. Listen, children of man, heed the last words of the deep ones. In a stratum below the deep city, our god slumbers in the depths. The eldest one crossed heaven's pit with it to descend on these lands. But that god faced unexpected opposition, the entity known as Yggdrasil. Okay, again with the Japanese. What fell upon the lands then was the porcelain offering. A pure form of mana fell from the pitch-black sea asleep. What I gave you was the last of it. Great. The dew and the crown I once had made it intangible solid. The porcelain offering is restored. The girl is human again and has the reunion she so yearned for. With that, the eldest one returned to the darkness, a hint of satisfaction in its voice. As the king fades into the deep blue sea, it speaks once more. We walk a path washed in blood. Those who sense blood's weight and know how precious it is will not drown or become drunk from blood, and the path will one day be clean. To end all strife, go to the deepest abyss of the darkness, land and venture where death sleeps. There our God will judge you. By that he means it will try to murder us. The misunderstandings between the princess and the king are at an end. Thank you, Yuri. The Abyssal King has regained his memories. It is a joyous occasion, and now I will be left alone. We may be living witnesses to the birth of a legend. Congratulations, explorers! I haven't heard the details, but you got the job done, right? Gotta hand it to you. Nice going. The princess and his majesty said they'll be living together far from here. I'm sure they'll be happy. I'm glad the Abyssal King's story gets a happy ending, but not if he won't be here anymore. True fangirl to the end, huh? Farewell, Ocean City of Armorwood, homeland to my brother and I. We must make our departure. We are no longer ordinary humans and will spend our days elsewhere. The rest is yours, Yuri. Can I skip this? What if there's still something else? I'm gonna wait. You're waiting with me. I should check the recording. Good. Besides, this is a cool song. I should go look at the walkthrough, I suppose. Alright, it's post-game time. I am gonna go to bed for now though. I have something to tell you. I'm given a final directive to relay from the Abyssal King. Seriously, how do you hide your long-ass ears with those? And also, it's a reference to Shin Megami Tensei. I just realized the reason why they're pumpkin-shaped. It's a reference to Shin Megami. That's one of the jacks. I forgot the exact name, but one of the jacks. In Persona at least, it's one of the earlier jacks you can get alongside Jack Frost. Except fire instead of ice. In the depths of the Porcelain Forest is a teleporter. Use it to travel to where the evil waits. He will not force you to go, but you are the only ones with the strength to slay the evil. So says the Abyssal King. His last wish is for you to travel there and carry out his will. That is all. I'll start with saving and getting to the first floor, and then I'll end it. There's some dragons I can beat up to raise my level cap or something apparently. And this final dungeon is an end-all be-all kind of thing. It's gonna suck. Well, it can't be worse than Labyrinth of Galeria. I'm going to see this journey through to the end. Maybe I will finish Labyrinth of Galeria afterwards or something, I don't know. So I guess those two lovebirds are gone, but not lovebirds, because that would be incest, which is very wrong. Oh, shababadaboo. Nope, 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 nope. I just realized, why did she even bother putting on a robe? And yeah, it hides the fact that she's a robot, which would scare the general public, but the general public should still see her as a wanted criminal, regardless of whether or not she's a robo-girl or not. It's a miracle she was even allowed in. Considering her very appearance now is the very epitome of shadiness. So it's always Olympia that gives you the last request, regardless of whose side you... It's literally called Cyclopean Haunt. How badass. That's supposed to be some sort of tell for when there's a secret? No. There are still no tells. So we've got two paths. And how bad can the enemies be? Let's try doing a battle. Ooh, listen to this. Damn, 1000 damage and they lived. Wow, these are some very tanky shrooms. At least they don't explode into anything when they die. Dang. Yeah, whatever happened, I doubt anyone's interested in Deep City anymore. Hello. The whole thing robots do where they're like, I am an AI, I have no feelings. You think when AI gets advanced enough they'd actually ever say something like that? Of course, right now AI isn't advanced enough for us to give them sentience or even just the illusion of it. And ChatGPT, I doubt anyone considers or even thinks, or maybe if they squint hard enough, they can try to believe, but ultimately, they're as real as Monica is in my computer. Which is to say, it's fucking fake as fuck. Who knows? With AIs soon to replace everyone's jobs, we need to learn to be dependent on AI rather than try to continue living with society the way it is. Maybe AIs won't take over the world like we think it is at the rate that it's going, and capitalism will continue being the status quo for who knows how much longer in human culture. But AI could be what spurs a new era for mankind. Maybe more similar to the Mega Man games. Who knows? That would suck though, actually, considering what happens in Mega Man. $2,000. Weak to everything at least. They call him father and mother, but his pronouns are he/him. Make up your mind. You mean just you. You're the only one that cares at this point. All the princess wanted was for her brother to come back. If anyone would smile, it would be the brother. He lost his memories and dedicated his entire life to this. Obviously, he still most likely wants to see it through. I know, I am aware. Yeah, I'll kill the Alrune eventually, don't worry. Don't worry about us. We're here to see through what we started. We're not obligated, but Irai are raging lesbians second, and triumphant heroes first. I wonder if there's any new quests. There are. Whoa. Looks like these are all post-game. Yeah. I hate when post-game still has plot. Like, let the game end satisfactorily. And we can just enjoy the gameplay for what it is. in the post game. Because if you're gonna put a story, you may as well say you don't have a post game at all. Like what Persona and Zelda does. The only series I enjoy the post game of are Mario and Disgaea. And Disgaea still does have a bit of a plot, but for the most part, the original plot's already done and the rest is just there as fan service and to give some sort of an excuse as to why you're still doing stuff even though you technically have no reason to do anything anymore. And Mario, I guess you could call what happens in Darkest Side story, but really it's more or less just a way to fully send off the player and get them to accept the fact that they really should do something else with their life now. The Noble. Weird. Well, back then I definitely don't think we would have been worthy here. But now, yeah, he's got his faith correct. Yeah, just post-game stuff, huh? Boy, are they wacky. Maybe I should go switch back to normal difficulty and rest everyone. Go on a grinding spree next episode. So I'm gonna need a lot of power. I can't beat this post-game by rushing. And again, I am in no rush. Damn, there was only a single survivor. Have at you. Yeah, sure, you can fight, huh? Are you some sort of retired level 90 adventurer? That's a trope, apparently, in Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. Players try to attack the barkeeper or whatever, and then the GM pulls out a trump card that apparently the barkeeper is a retired level 20 adventurer or something, and absolutely wrecks the shit out of the party. Just say you don't want them to attack the barkeeper. You can say no to players. The players, you may not think the players will like it. The players probably won't like it. But sometimes evil must be done in order to ensure the fun of all. D&D teaches us that there's more to life than just individual fun. Of course, the fun of the masses gets in the way of individuality, but the opposite is also true. Sup? Welcome. You? I was told you'd left for other lands. Though of course someone of your stature would linger until everyone was properly thanked. Considering what painstaking care I took of you, I knew you'd not leave without a word. By the way, dear heroes, Someone as magnanimous wouldn't leave without buying souvenirs, right? I'll buy weapons. Whoa. Yeah, I'm sure now Pierre will find a use for them. Ooh. Ooh. I'm doing the PogChamp face right now, but you guys can't see it. Don't need this bacala anymore. So I'm still missing 2, unless these are fake, and I actually already have all the foraging stuff. It's like, what else could be here? I mean, I can come up with plenty. There's still stats that could be there, but in terms of status ailments, there really isn't any left. So yeah, it's either these are like the remaining freaking. This is like, well, I mean, I guess defense would be a bit overpowered to have. I'm just gonna say that these are fake, because I don't wanna. The walkthrough doesn't mention anything, so I'm gonna assume that's just complete now for the sake of my mind. Yes, we will still have to say goodbye, but it doesn't have to be right now. Right now, though, I am stopping my playing and going to bed.